and welcome back to the Spoiler Cast. Oh, the show where we talk about movies and we don't care about spoiling them. My name is Tobias, and with me as always is my sister and trusty co-host Rebecca.
Hello!
Hello! And today we're in the same room.
Ooh!
In
a different room.
a different room, yes. If you recall last episode, right?
Yes.
Infested, yeah.
The very poor quality of the
audio
tablet.
and video, yeah. Rebecca has just moved to a new apartment,
Yes.
and now this place is more or less set up. Still needs to put some stuff up on the walls to remove the echo.
I need a couch here.
Yeah. Also doesn't help that we're using the same microphone.
No.
So sorry for the poor audio. I'm just here because it's housewarming, so we thought may as well record.
Since we went to the movies yesterday.
Yeah. And we saw the new Planet of the Apes movie. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Right, that's the title. It's way too long.
It's one of my favorite franchises, but it has the worst titles of all time. Like every movie almost. It's too many ofs and for in the same title.
In one title.
Yeah. Oh, and if you hear the cats, yes, you're gonna hear the cats.
You know the
drill.
deal.
Yeah.
They're always gonna be here.
But anyway, this is the some have called it a soft reboot because it takes place so far in the future from the last trilogy, the Caesar trilogy, if you will.
I suppose.
But it does, and I mean,
it acknowledges the
what
original,
happened before. Yes.
Well, the Caesar trilogy.
Yeah, like it directly references them, and and what Caesar did in those movies affects the apes in this movie.
Yes.
So it is a sequel, but it's also, this is a perfect entry point for new fans.
Yeah.
If you want to see it from a producer brain.
Yeah.
You
want to see it from a producer brain.
Well, yeah, because they would say that we don't have to connect it too much to the old one. That way we can get a new audience in that wasn't around almost 15 years ago when the first Caesar movies came out.
So it's the teenagers they want to lure in.
Yeah, especially since the characters in this movie and the director of this movie.
Oh, right.
Yeah, directed by Wes Ball. Of course,
known for
what's the guy? No, what's the guy who did the last one? He was busy making Batman movies. Anyway, so Wes Ball is directing this one, famous for directing the Maze Runner movies.
Yes.
And it's written by Josh Friedman, who hasn't done a lot. He wrote the 2005 Tom Cruise War of the Worlds. It has a very sporadic, writing credits. So maybe he does other things as well. I don't know.
I was on the director's too.
Yeah, but anyway, this is this takes place. It says many generations. It starts with after the rise of Caesar or whatever.
Or death of Caesar.
Death of Caesar.
And he's gonna go up there. Wow.
So it takes place many generations later.
Yes.
The world we see. It doesn't have to be because it's all overgrown. You can barely see any remnants of humanity anymore. And what humans are left are, of course, now the humans you remember from the original movies. They're the animals now.
Yes.
But although I was thinking about that because you see all the overgrown skyscrapers and everything.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking, it must be hundreds of years or whatever. But it's kind of funny. Without humans to keep nature at bay, there's this book called The World Without Us, which I don't know how scientific it is, but I mean it's like an art book or a picture book, where they basically say that after 20 years, if no one's taking care of weeds growing everywhere and stuff, you wouldn't recognize New York City. It would be overgrown.
No, because if no one was checking the trails, they would grow over very quickly.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be that long. But I mean,
no.
It's been a while.
But for the sake of the movie, they're saying generations because it's easier that way. We don't try to find someone who should have probably is dead by now. Like the
Exactly.
first thing I did was like, oh, is that Maurice?
Maurice? Yeah, no.
No, he's dead because it's been too long.
And that's also a good way to say that this is a soft reboot.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about bringing back old characters or saying like, no, that's not what happened, because now the teachings of Caesar, they're more like legends at this point. He was the original lawgiver.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Is that what they call him in the original?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lawgivers, the ones who wrote the laws. Apes strong together. Ape not kill ape.
Ape shall not kill ape. Yeah.
Anyway,
there's a third one, but I never remember it.
I don't remember. But then the movie starts with Noah, Suna, and Anaya.
Yes.
Were younglings, They are climbing the skyscrapers to get eagle eggs.
Eagle eggs.
For the bonding ceremony. Where they oh my God, I can't speak.
They bond with their eagles.
It's so weird. Yeah, but why do they bond with They are part of a clan of apes. Yeah, an eagle clan. They use eagles for hunting and stuff.
Yeah. Because they've evolved, so they've all evolved into their different kinds of like societies.
Yeah, that are at least the eagle clan is unknowing of any other ape clans. Any other societies?
Yeah, they haven't. I mean, I assume they know that others exist, but they don't come across them.
I don't know. They don't talk about other apes.
No, but they don't seem like confused that there's more apes in the world.
Am I? Oh, his hair. I'm gonna have to edit all this. Yes, sure. But then, yeah.
And they are aware of the other people in, like, what they call it, beyond the valley or something?
Yeah, they're where their echoes live there. They call humans echoes. Yeah. But then, after some mishaps, another ape clan shows up.
Yes.
We don't get a name of the clan.
No. And they wrongfully use Caesar's name.
Yeah, to basically kidnap and enslave the Eagle clan for their own nefarious uses.
Yes.
I don't know how much more we want to say about the plot. That's basically what this is in the trailers.
Like the intro.
Yeah. There were some I saw on Twitter. Someone mentioned that there's like a third act spoiler in the latest trailer. I don't know if I haven't seen it, but I don't remember anything being spoiled. So I didn't check the trailer out before I saw the movie.
No, I only saw the first teaser, I think, and then I kind of stopped.
Yeah, the only thing that's I guess is spoiled, but you kind of expected it, was the fact that the human girl, can speak.
Well,
that was in the first trailer, I think. She stands up and says, "Noah."
Yeah, but also, like, of course, you wouldn't hire, first of all, an up and coming actress, because she plays Ciri in The Witcher.
Oh, that's her?
Yeah.
Huh?
Why?
Huh? No.
You don't like the actress?
There's this interview where she laughs at Henry Cavill and mocks him for liking Warhammer.
Oh,
have you seen that one?
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
Anyway,
I'm guessing that's a bit of an inside joke because he doesn't look like a nerd and he's such a nerd.
Yeah, and he strikes up a conversation. He's doing an interview, and another actor is there, and he's like, "Oh, you're into Warhammer." And he's like,
and he starts like,
and she's just like,
okay,
whatever, nerds. And he's like, "Shut up! But it's a hobby."
Yeah, but it's kind of funny though.
I guess
all the things we saw about him from the pandemic was hilarious because he's Superman. He's built, he's big, he's buff, and then he's like, "I paint Warhammer figurines and build computers." It's weird. It's a little bit weird.
Why is that weird?
It's a weird combo. You're not used to seeing that.
Because you're like, you go to the gym, you can't enjoy.
No, I'm just saying we're not used to seeing that, especially not from actors.
Not used to seeing. Vin Diesel's been playing Dungeons and Dragons since he was like 12.
I did not know that.
There's like, what's his name? Joe Manganiello runs a fucking D&D game with a bunch of
I do know that one.
Yeah. Like, because
I've seen some YouTube channel that makes like these awesome looking wooden resin tables, and they made one for him for D&D playing.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, if there's one thing I do appreciate with the mainstreamification of role playing, it's the fact that the stereotype of the sweaty nerd has kind of gone away, even though that stereotype exists. Believe
Yes, and for a reason, I was about to say, but
me. No, yes. That stereotype is more accurate than you think, but it's
Yes.
not all people.
No.
that do that.
No.
Anyway, we're way off base.
Yes.
Back
You know
to-
what? We forgot to do the most important thing we do when we talk about movies.
Yeah, it's all thrown out because we're in the same room.
Let me ask you.
Okay,
What
yeah.
did you think of it? Of the movie? Of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes?
I
Apart
thought,
from the title.
apart from the title, I thought it was pretty good. It lacks the oomph and the weight of the previous trilogy.
Yes.
And even though it's the longest Apes movie so far, it didn't feel as epic.
No,
It felt
it
very
felt long.
Usually I'm the one sort of like dozing off, but now you were dozing off.
Yes.
I was like, "Argh!" You started chewing gum not to fall asleep. Yeah, it's almost 2.5 hours long.
It's 2:25 with the credits.
Yeah, so I guess
2:15
2:50. Yeah.
because it's a long credits.
Yeah. No, it's very long, and there are definitely stuff you can cut out. This is like I wrote on Letterboxd. It is more spectacle than introspection.
Yes.
Unlike the other ones,
Yes.
where, I mean, apart from all of the movies that they're more dramas, except for the final act is usually pretty action filmed. There's
Sure.
not a lot of action in those movies.
No, they're
Even the one is called War of the Planet of the Apes. Like, there's not even a war in that movie.
no, it's a battle at the end. That's
Yeah.
it.
This one had action like sporadically
Sprinkled
throughout
through,
the
yeah.
movie. Yeah, I mean, every major like
Goddamn cats.
every major like catalyst for the plot and everything was always during an action scene.
Yeah.
This was not a drama. This was not a monkey drama. This was a monkey action movie.
Yes.
It still had, it had morally gray characters. It was more complex. It was more thoughtful than like most blockbusters nowadays.
Sure.
Which is the whole thing with the Apes movies. That there's more going on up there with those movies.
Yeah.
There's always the theme. There's always a point. They still had that. But I am, if you other than it being like having slightly more complex characters, I failed to see what new this brought to the franchise and what the point really was.
I don't think they brought anything new yet, as they still want to like introduce it to the new audience. So they're like soft. It's a soft start, like we said, a soft reboot.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, so this is the overall theme for the actual movies, for the other movies. This is what we've been talking about. And in the next one, we can explore and expand on it. Which
and that's
is both smart and annoying, because it's smart for the new viewers, but it's annoying for the old viewers.
well, it's also immediately something that makes you go, so it's more of a cash grab
Oh, of
because
course,
they're already planning a trilogy.
Yes.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes, the 2011 one. I mean, that is its own story.
Yes.
If that was the only one that came out, it would still be a perfect like prequel to the Planet of the Apes. It's like that's how they became smart, and then thousands of years went by. Humans,
and
in
you can
reverse,
just
and then you have
watch
the old movie.
The old
Yeah.
movies, yeah.
Sure, they did that with the second one, but that's when they already. That's usually what you do with the first sequel. You kind of have a cliffhanger for the third one.
Well, yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean did
Kinda
that
have
perfectly.
to.
Yeah. I was gonna say the Dark Knight does that. Well, it sort of does.
Yeah.
When he drives off as a vigilante or a lawless man, hunted man. But here they like right off the bat. Spoilers for that. This ends on a big bum. We'll see what happens in the next one.
Yeah. Even though there's not like it's not really a cliffhanger per se.
It's not a cliffhanger. Well, no. Yes, it is.
Wait, what does it do at the end?
Well, we can't really talk about it yet.
No.
If we're going to get into
That's
big
true.
spoilers, we'll wait a few more minutes before we do that.
But hey, you haven't asked me.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So what did you think of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes?
Apart from the title being stupid, which I'm gonna repeat over and over. I thought it was pretty good. It was a bit long. It had some dull moments. It had a very up and down in the pacing, in my opinion. Because you had a lot of you had action, things happening, they're doing stuff, and then all of a sudden they're just sitting there talking for way too long, or talking while they're walking. I guess is usually fine, but because it's always after the second or third time you get action in between all of that. It's sandwiched between action sequences, and so then it feels very slow all of a sudden.
Yeah,
there were too many action sequences almost.
Yeah, I mean, you could.
I'm including the climb, the beginning, as an action sequence a little bit, but that one's fine.
That was honestly that was where I immediately gave me warning signs oh, they're starting this with an establishing shot of them jumping around climbing a big skyscraper. It's okay, so you're showing off how cool everything looks. What's the point?
Yeah, sure, but
it could have started because they're going for the eagle eggs. It could have started with them. You could have seen the eagle just to establish that this is what the world looks like now, and then you see the eagle land in its nest. And then in the background you could just see
movement.
Them moving slowly, and as the eagle leaves, they boop 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 turn up. But no, you have to show them jumping around because look how cool it is when the monkeys jump around.
But it is very cool, though.
It is cool, but.
Because that is
immediately we want to show how cool everything is instead of we want to get to the point. We have a point with this movie.
Yeah, but they didn't have the movie didn't really have a point that we didn't already know of.
Yeah.
So
I keep looking at myself. I don't usually do that. Jesus Christ.
Look at me in the camera instead.
Yeah.
So I liked it, but it's weak.
Yeah.
And it's for that reason, because we, as seasoned fans of the monkey movies, we know the plot, we know the story, we know what the moral of all of it, we know what they're trying to say, and we're kind of done with that part. We've done that in the past. Well, the original movies, and then the trilogy that came in the 2011, all that. So, I wanted something more, but I don't know what I want exactly. I wanted them to show me more, I suppose.
And that was the big thing. I think we talked about that when we did our trailer reaction or whatever we would call that. We did a few months ago.
Yeah.
Does this movie, even if it was fun, it was exciting, it was good.
Yeah.
But as a part of a franchise, a franchise that is as good as the Planet of the Apes, where even the worst movie is still pretty good.
Yes.
Does this justify its existence?
No.
It doesn't.
No, there's no
just
need.
padding.
There's no need for any sequels in general, to be honest.
The story was done. And that was kind of the thing with them in the last movie, kind of speeding up the degradation of the human mind. It's not that they slowly over generations became dumb. It's this virus that instantly turned them dumb.
Yeah.
It's okay. Which I always thought was kind of but it also
it's
adds
a bit of a cop out, but it's a bit of a
cop out, but it does add this feeling of desperation, especially from the villain in that one.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
Woody Harrelson?
Woody Harrelson, yeah. The general.
The general. I think he's just the general.
Or colonel, I don't remember. Whatever.
Colonel Mustard.
Colonel Mustard. Colonel Kurtz.
No, I liked it, but it's a bit long. It had some flaws in the sense that I wanted more in the story and the world building, I suppose. If anything, if you want to expand on this universe, you need to expand it properly.
Yeah.
Not just with one character exploring, the closest borders to his own little town or village or whatever they called it.
Yeah.
Make him travel across borders and go into fucking Canada or whatever and see what other tribes are doing.
Yeah. And it's also, I'm going at 20 minutes now, so I think we can start talking spoilers.
Sure.
So
stop fiddling with stuff.
As we usually do, it's 20 minutes in. I'm starting to tiptoe around the specific details. So if you don't want any spoilers, cut it off right here. Yes. Go watch the movie. Come back.
Still a great movie. It's still as beautiful as the first three, if not even better this time. There were moments where I was like,
It's
are you sure they didn't just film apes?
yeah, some of the scenes where there's like ash and stuff in the fur of Noah.
Yeah, and
Wow.
like some of
And
the
it's like,
close-ups, like they
I
have to
don't
have,
get
like
it. It looks so.
it
good.
has to have been a real ape at some of the close-ups. Like you cannot. How?
Yeah, yeah. So that's still good, and like I said, it's still a good movie.
Yes.
Not as good as the other ones. We should do a ranking at some point.
Sure. I think we've started one at one
We
point.
kind of made a ranking, I guess, when we watched all the old ones. I don't know
Yeah.
if we have an official one. Either way. But from here on out now.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. You have been warned.
So, in the end, when Caesar dies, the new Caesar. I love doing that. And also, every movie ends with someone dying, I realized. I just did another podcast for Madison the Method. You should check that out, Madison the Method. It's on this channel. I did exactly the same thing. I said, oh, when the pig dies. Spoilers, but you don't know which movie the pig dies in. Anyway.
What do you mean someone dies in every movie?
No, but because I can usually do that joke. Remember in the end when the guy dies?
Yeah, sure.
I
mean, someone does die in like every one of these ape movies, though.
Yeah. Rise doesn't end with someone dying. Dawn does. Caesar dies. Caesar literally dies in the end.
Yeah.
Anyway, and in this one, Proximus Caesar dies in the end. The main bad guy played by Kevin Durand.
Yes. This is why I pulled up the IMDb on my phone.
Yeah. What was I going to talk about before that?
I don't know. Spoilers?
Yeah, spoilers. There was some detail I was going to mention.
I don't know.
I forgot. We did too much. Spoilers.
You forgot your own. I'm trying to find who played who, but with all the apes, because I was a little bit confused on like gender for the apes.
No.
Is Anaya a boy or a girl?
That's a boy.
It's played by a boy.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a girl.
No.
Because that's...
He's too goofy, and you can kind of see it, at least on the older, you see it on Noah's mother. She kind of has breasts.
I didn't even realize that.
Oh, okay. And Suna, the sort of love interest.
Yeah.
She had longer hair on top. It was
and
part
mother had that too.
Yeah. That's kind of how you
Door?
see it.
Door? Mother. They called her Door or something.
Dar.
Dar.
Yeah, they only called her mother up until the end. And
yeah.
then, the other people couldn't call her mother, so they called her Dar or something.
Dar.
Someone called Dara. Every name ends with an A. Suna, Anaya,
Noah.
Dara.
Dara.
Ghost World. Anyway.
What?
No, she's Daria. Sorry. Ghost World movie. Anyway, sorry. So we have to start over now because I don't remember what we were talking about.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't mean either. Not spoilers. What does it end with? Why is it a cliffhanger at the end?
Oh, okay, yeah, because that's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
The cliffhanger is the girl, which we find out is called
May?
May, right. They call her Nova at first.
It was
like,
kind of funny though when they explained it seconds later.
We call all humans Nova.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Caesar did that. We don't know why, but we do it too. Fine.
She, under the guise of helping the Eagle Clan escape from Proximus.
Yes.
She says, "Oh, we will free the Eagle Clan and we will flood this big vault." Here's the thing: Caesar wants to get into the Proximus Caesar wants to get into this big vault, kind of like the vault from War for the Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
Where they have a bunch of weapons and intelligent stuff. He wants to get in there because he wants more knowledge.
He wants to know what's in there, basically.
Yeah, and
also
he's
hoping
he talks
for
about
good stuff.
He talks about because he's heard from his captive human.
Oh yeah,
Trevathan.
Trevathan, right?
Such a stupid name.
Such a dumb name.
By William H. Macy. I tried to contact him on Instagram to have him as a guest, but he wouldn't answer. Because you can just DM anyone on Instagram. It's so weird.
Not anyone. Some people have blocked.
Oh, okay. Well, this was open.
Because never mind. I've looked up some celebrities and they're like, no, we're blocking you. And I don't think they're blocking people specifically. They're just like turning off their instant messages.
Sure. Either way, has been telling him, stories about the Roman Empire, which is kind of
Yes.
funny. It's the whole meme when guys always think about the Roman
Yeah.
Empire. I don't know somewhere they came from. We
No
don't,
clue.
but we know a lot about the Roman Empire.
Yeah, but
because
then
it's
there's
fascinating.
then there's this meme of like, what is your Roman Empire? It's like, I don't fucking know anymore.
Anyway, so he heard all these stories of uh, when humans ruled the world.
Yes.
And he wants of course to he realizes that the apes will eventually evolve to that point, which is where they are in the original book.
Yeah.
They have like flying cars and go out into space and stuff.
Yeah.
But he also realized that that's not going to happen in his lifetime, so he wants to kind of
Speed things up.
kind of put in the cheat code, which is getting into this vault, getting about the technology that it took humans like hundreds, if not thousands, of years to develop. And because he has kind of a skewed view of Caesar's original rules or laws,
Yes.
he doesn't see a problem with like using like slave labor or killing to get what he wants, which is
Whether it's human or ape
Yeah.
to kill. Like,
and May, the human girl, talks about them like if he
if he's
If he
allowed
get-
into that vault.
yeah, it's not gonna end well for humans because all apes like more or less doesn't like humans.
No, because
At the very least, they're like, ooh, stay away from them. They're gross.
they're gross, they're weird, and if you know what about the history, you're gonna say, well, they kept us captive, so
Yeah.
why should we care for them or about them?
So, May, Suna, Naya, and Noah go into the vault. She gets the chip for the
Yeah.
satellite communications uplink thing. And then, adventure stuff happens. They blow up the dam. The water floods in.
Everyone needs to save themselves, basically.
Yeah, Eagle Clan survives, of course, because they climb. That's what they do. Climb. Fight off Proximus with the Eagles, and everyone's
Yes.
happy. Yay! They broke the chains of slavery. That wasn't really what the movie was about, though, but that was the thing in the end. But as this is happening, May's just like, sorry,
Yeah, and just
and is willing
Bolts.
to sacrifice not just Proximus people, but the Eagle Clan as well. Even though she kind of, had several bonding moments with Noah.
yeah.
So then,
We don't see how she gets out of there, do we?
no, she stands on the side. I guess she walks away.
Yeah.
That's
Whatever.
fair.
Yeah.
Whatever. But then, Noah, as he promised his father, who was one of the elders of his village,
He was
promised-
the Eagle Master.
Eagle Master, yeah. He would bring his clan back, and
Yeah.
he does. They rebuild, and then
Oh, right, yeah.
May shows up to say like, came to say goodbye, and he's like, ooh. It's kind of funny. She, in a way, introduces. He doesn't know what I don't think. At least his people don't know. They don't seem to know what lying is. 'Cause
No.
he's so baffled when she
Tricks them.
Yeah, or like hides truths from
Yeah.
him. Like,
They
you
don't
know
have-
how to speak, but you didn't.
Tell us.
You didn't tell us. Like,
Yeah, because in their clan or in their village, I'm assuming they've never had a reason for it.
no, yeah, which was interesting. So he didn't have a lie, or he didn't have a word for that.
Yeah.
He never said you lied to me, but it was like
Like you
it
hid
happened.
stuff.
Yeah, it happened a couple of times, and he comes back in the end, and he's like, I don't know if like.
I don't like you.
Yeah, and I don't know if humans and apes can coexist.
It's also something she mentions in the vault that she's like, I don't want any ape to get this information.
Yeah, because she doesn't trust apes.
No, because she knows what happened when apes were allowed to gain consciousness about it, but get smart.
Mhm.
And she wants to be what back when humans were smart, obviously, but at the cost of apes.
But that is weird, though. She, the
Because she'd been told stories
she's been told stories of what?
of what happened. She seemed to know what
happened? That
but
humans
Caesar-
tried to eradicate apes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and humans had apes as slaves and called them donkeys.
I don't know if it's that reality or if it's just the virus part in Caesar.
Well, oh, you mean the man-made virus?
Yeah,
Like, what have the apes actually done?
nothing.
So why is she afraid of the apes? Is it because,
Because
they rose up?
Yeah, probably. It's the way she's been told, I'm assuming. It's because, back in the days, apes were in cages and humans roamed free, and we were the apex. And depending on how she's been told that, that's what she wants, obviously.
But and this is where we end
But
up.
now we're assuming things again.
That's where we end up with the dilemma, because that is assuming that, yeah, during these many generations since the original or the first sequel trilogy, whatever,
Caesar.
the Caesar trilogy, yeah, yeah, there were ape haters, obviously, like humans blame the apes, even though they didn't create the virus,
of course,
but they did spread
like
the
we
virus,
see in the Caesar trilogy.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't do anything out of hatred. They only did anything they did was for like their own survival and expansion, I suppose, or evolution.
Yeah, they rebelled.
Yeah.
And the people she hangs out with, which is the few people who can still like talk, are so smart. The virus didn't affect them, which we know not everyone was affected by the virus.
Yes.
But it seemed to like increase in lethality, if that's a word, in the third movie. Why? Because they seem to be now this is conjecture, but
yes,
she was obviously very smart. She seemed to be working with, because they were living in a base and everything. They seemed to be, relatively like not warmongering crazies like in the third movie. Why would they assume that the apes would want to kill them if they gain knowledge?
I don't know.
Like the whole thing with Caesar was he literally like.
They never attacked first.
No, exactly. And in the end, he has Nova. Nova follows them to their new
settlement,
their new paradise, where he slumps over and dies. In
the
end. Sure, Nova wouldn't be able to like
spread the word.
No, because she can't speak. She's literally a mute. But why would they assume that the apes are bad? Is it because she does talk about how her people that she was traveling with to get this knowledge, or get the chip, whatever, to get to the vault, they were attacked by Proximus people.
Sure, yeah.
But sure, that's one instance of ape on human crime, so to speak. But it feels like her, like
it feels like an assumption.
Yeah, her what is it called? Afraidness?
Fear.
Fear of apes and an ape uprising or whatever, apes attacking humans, seems more deep rooted than that.
Yeah,
and
I'm afraid it might just be plain old racism kind of thing.
Yeah,
but they're not exploring that, which they should a little bit.
Yeah, but then because
we don't get to know enough about the few humans we have in this movie. We're focusing a lot on Noah and his clan and his friends.
Yeah.
Him specifically very much. So we're not getting anywhere, which is the issue with this movie.
Yeah, it's very much it's a coming of age, like it's the classic hero's journey. Like he has to grow up to save his people, kind of
rise to his potential.
Yeah, and go on a long trip. He meets the wise old sage
Raka.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean Raka. Yeah, exactly. He has to fight off the big bad guy in order to like realize his own potential in the end. Literally taking over his father's eagle to kill the bad. Sure, yeah, but in the ape franchise, we need more than that.
Yes, we need
like
more
that existed in the Caesar trilogy, but there was so much more going on.
Yes,
it was such a poignant commentary on slavery, uprising, fucking animal rights, if you will.
Racism too, in a sense.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Though through animal rights, I suppose.
Yeah, human hubris and like very, very strong like anti-war message.
Yeah.
especially in the last movie.
Yes.
This one
Doesn't have much
that.
of a message.
It's just Star Wars with apes. It's the classic hero's journey with an ape.
Sure, yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
But coming from a previous trilogy that had so much more, it's a bit weak.
And like one of building on one of the greatest science fiction movies of all time.
Yeah.
The original Planet of the Apes. Like
I really need to read the book.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's very different from the movie.
Hey, could be another one for the patron.
Yeah. I can give it to you, or if you want. I have it in English. Anyway, you want to read it in the original French, of course.
No, because my French is not that good.
No, it's just
it's lacking. This movie.
I don't want to call it weak writing for what it is. It's not weak writing.
No. It feels a little bit like a cop-out because they're trying to, what I'm assuming again, they're trying to like softly introduce people to the franchise without having to like rehash the entire trilogy.
Yeah.
So that they can in the sequels start actually exploring more.
More
of the morals and all the issues and all that stuff.
I wonder if they were going to get to that because this is a starting up point. Like, I promise you, they've already talked about there's going to be a new trilogy.
Sure, I am assuming that.
Yeah, I think they've already mentioned that. If this is a success, or if they've already started making, I don't know. It's going to end with a big war in the last one, because it's always how a trilogy ends now. It's war.
Yes.
It's war.
It has been since, like, the Lord of the Rings, though.
Oh, yeah. I've talked about this in some video I made, that it always ends with war. Even when you have a franchise where they're, like, more than 3 movies, the third movie is always, we're supposed to be the end, it's always a big war.
Yeah.
And I mean, you had that with the Caesar trilogy, it ends with war for the Planet of the Apes, even though it's not really war.
Proper war, it's just one battle, basically.
Yeah, it's more a war between 2 people.
Yeah,
Caesar
but it's wasn't it like they're talking about as if it's gonna be war unless this battle is won by the apes.
Well, the war's been going on in the years between Dawn and
Right,
War.
that's the one, yeah.
It starts with them attacking settlement in the forest.
Right.
So it has been going on.
It is a war, but we're only seeing one battle, probably.
Yeah, we're seeing the end.
Yeah.
God, that movie is good. I'm just thinking about it now.
I'm gonna rewatch all 3 of them.
Jesus Christ. And no offense to Owen Teague, he was good as Noah.
Oh, yeah.
God damn, do I miss Caesar as a character. If you want to talk, one of the for like blockbuster cinema, stuff like this, morally complex and like layered and well acted.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
This is like it is such a shame that he was not nominated for some sort of. I mean, he won, but smaller awards. But he should have been nominated for like an Oscar.
Had we had the spoiler awards that year,
dude, he would have
no
won like
contest.
That. No, especially in War, he's so good there towards the end. My God, yeah, Noah is not as strong of a protagonist.
No, but he is also a teenager. He's also a youngling who's not yet like. They're having this like coming of age ceremony. It's supposed to have that ceremony, but they get cheated out of it, really.
Yeah. Their village burns down.
But we can't have it, so the younglings are never actually turned into adults, I suppose.
But that's also
officially.
That's also the thing. Even in the first Caesar movie, he is kind of grown up from the middle to the end.
Yeah.
And he starts like questioning his reality, like when he sees the dog on a leash, like why do I have a leash and stuff like that, like. It was so nice to have a movie about a fucking grown up instead of kids, and I was like, oh, they're gonna be teenagers, they're gonna be crying, and everyone's gonna be hugging.
I mean, the first sequence when we realized that they are younglings, I got very much the teenage dystopian
Maze Runner
vibe, yeah. And then again, Hunger Games vibes towards the end with the fight and the singing and shit.
Yeah,
I was like, dude, this is
it's a kiddification.
Yeah,
teenification of Planet of the Apes.
It's a teen dystopian returning, but in ape form.
Yeah.
And it's, as much as I love the teen dystopians, I don't know if I need it in this franchise.
No, exactly. This is not this is from the same franchise that had, once again, one of the greatest science fiction movies of all time. Which has always been about much bigger things than just adventure.
Yeah. Granted, by the time we're watching, by the time this movie takes place, we're in the in between. We're way removed from Caesar and the human ape conflict that begins this all, and we're not really to the point where apes are developed enough or evolved enough to be like in the originals. No. So we're in the in between.
We're in the Roman era.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm considering that this franchise kind of came in at it from like the wrong angle. It's not like in the chronological order when it comes to age. I'm guessing we're in the teenage era now, because we're in the middle. We're in the in-betweens. Yeah. However, the toddler era was very mature, very developed. So it's kind of throwing you off to be like, oh, we're gonna like bring it all back and simplify things in the middle all of a sudden. It's a bit dumb. Yeah. I understand. I can accept it, but it's a shame. Yeah. I wish they would have kept more of the complexity of the morals somehow in it. I don't know how exactly, if I'm being honest, because I'm not a writer.
No, well, the morally complex stuff, I think, was that, there could have been more, of course.
Could have been clearer.
Compare May to Koba in Dawn.
Yeah.
Like his reason for being the bad guy in that movie, like it's. I mean, and
but he has also a clear reason. She doesn't have a clear reason.
Yeah, exactly.
We get to see him and why he is the way he is. We don't get to see what she's been through to become so cynical. Yeah,
that's also one thing that we were also always gonna get to that. But that was even a problem in War. When the apes weren't able to talk, there was always this brevity to all the dialogue, so to speak.
Yes.
Here, all apes, they can basically talk perfect. Yeah. They do for some reason use sign language. Yeah. Still, sometimes. I guess that's just that's because what they did in the other movies.
That annoyed me because I understand it when they're like trying to be quiet.
But that was the thing. It was the first, and also the fucking annoyed me with the first scene. I'm gonna be this guy now. Actually,
go for it.
Because it starts with them climbing up the skyscraper, and Noah climbs a little higher and he jumps up over Anaya, and he does the sign language for like show off. Like, show off.
It translated to mallgroda in Swedish.
Yeah, it was show off.
Show off. Yeah.
But then, as they're slowly approaching the eagle's nest, where they need to be quiet, they start talking.
Suna and Noah speak for some reason.
Why didn't they use sign language then?
I don't know. They also kind of build it up as if Anaya wouldn't be able to speak.
Yeah, but then he does.
But then all of a sudden he does.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
okay.
It's a small thing. It's just a little detail. Yeah. But it shows that the writer doesn't really.
It's a lack of attention.
Yes, exactly. Attention to detail. Like, if you're gonna have them like both use sign language and voices, why not use sign language?
Make it clever.
Speaking? Yeah. Now they just did it because they did it in the other movies. Yeah. They don't know why they did it in the other movies.
It's as if the apes just kept up with because like gesturing is a thing we do all the time. Yeah. But there's a step between gesturing and sign language.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're actually using sign language, which would be great if there were apes that couldn't speak. Because then we'd understand that there's talking and talking with their hands. Yeah. But they're not. They're just talking with their hands because it's what? Muscle memory?
Yeah. And
that doesn't really make sense. Because by now they've evolved enough. We know that they've evolved enough to know that they don't need to use sign language to communicate because they can all speak. Because we can see that from the rest of their society that they're clever enough to like gone far enough to not to understand that.
but then
I mean, even other clans, they don't get confused when other apes can speak when they run into
no,
them.
exactly.
It's not
Yeah.
like they're starting off trying to sign with them. No, they speak. They don't.
And we don't see Proximus clan or his kingdom, as he calls it. He says kingdom of apes. So
Sure,
it's like,
yeah.
oh, the title almost.
Yeah.
We don't see them use sign language. They
No.
do the apes together strong thing.
Yeah, but that's more of a gesture than a sign language.
That's like a. Yeah. I couldn't think
I thought of the three fingers from the Hunger Games.
That's true. Or I guess, a radical or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Rock and roll or whatever.
Yeah. But like you said, it shows a lack of understanding.
Yeah.
When you have them sign when they don't have to be quiet and then speak when they should be quiet.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a nitpick, but it's also it's a microcosm of the entire script. Why is any of this happening? What does it bring?
Yeah.
More than entertainment.
And again, it's because it's a sequel to such a well developed and thought through original trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
If we hadn't had the Caesar trilogy, fine, this would have been a great movie, no flaws really.
Sure.
Short, a little bit slow, a little bit long. But since we have those three that are borderline perfect, if not fucking perfect at moments at least.
It's a perfect trilogy.
That, come on. You need to live up to that. You can't dumb it down all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You can change things, obviously. You can make things different because you're generations removed. But you still need to keep some of the details, the attention to detail. Yeah. Some of the nitpicking should be actually studied and taken care of. Because you can't lose stuff like that when you come from such a great original story.
Mm-hmm. And because
it's minimizing their work and it's annoying.
Yeah. We usually do this. Even with movies we like.
There's always flaws.
And like I said, I still think it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I just want to point out the things that stop it from being a great movie.
Yeah.
But like you said, every other movie had such a clear theme. I guess, except for the last of the old ones, Battle for the Planet of the Apes. That was basically they was kind of repeating the racism from the first movie.
Yeah.
But you had the first one. It was about racism.
Yes.
It was look at this. A bunch of white men being put in cages by apes.
Do you see how uncomfortable you are now? Imagine the other way around.
Imagine the horror, putting humans in cages.
Yeah.
The second one.
I think we said that in that episode.
Yeah, of course.
They couldn't understand it unless it was a white man.
Yeah. I mean, that's still kind of a thing. I mean, that is Buyers Club. It's you need to understand how bad the AIDS crisis was. So how about we make a movie about the straightest guy ever gets AIDS?
Yeah, because now you can relate better.
Yeah.
Idiots.
And then the second one then kind of being a. I mean, that's also one of the worst ones. The Planet of the Apes. But I mean, it does comment on once again. Fear mongering, definitely, because the gorillas want to wage war even though they don't have to. Fear mongering, but also mainly the fear of the bomb.
Yeah.
And because it's in the height of the Cold War, the 70s, the beginning of the 70s, being scared of the end basically, and the movie ends with the planet blows up. And then the third movie, all of them more or less comments on race relations.
Of course.
But the third one...
I mean, that's the main theme of, apes and humans.
Yeah. The third one, though, commenting on it in a more current setting.
Yes.
It takes place in our time.
Yeah.
When the apes travel back in time.
Yeah, so they're reversing the original, then kind of going yes, you've seen the white man, now let's see how it actually is.
Yeah.
See if you can understand it.
Yeah, and kind of not immigration per se, but the way we kind of not what's it called? sensationalize.
Differences.
Yeah, or you could almost compare it. It's a weird comparison maybe, but the way we remember when a couple of years ago when everyone was like, oh, we gotta save Belarus, Belarus,
Oh, yeah.
because Russians have attacked them. Yeah, they've been doing that for 14 years. All of a sudden, though, we have to everyone has to.
All of a sudden, we care.
Things in our Twitter bios
Yeah.
and stuff, or the same thing now with Israel and
Gaza.
Palestine.
Palestine,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah. The
It's
Gaza conflict.
Yeah, they've been fighting for decades.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you care? That's the whole thing. When the apes arrive, they're like, oh my god, it's so wonderful. We gotta pamper them and let them speak because they know so much more than us. But then, we kind of lose interest and then the fear takes over. And that's why they want to kill them.
Yeah.
But that also because they bring a message of doom that comes in the future.
Sure.
When one ape questions why they are slaves.
Yeah.
But then also man's inability to learn from the past, because that's literally they learn in this one because it's sci-fi. They learn from the future.
Sure.
That if we enslave apes, they will one day rise up, and their solution is if we kill them, that won't be a problem.
Yeah, if they can make that monkey.
Yeah.
Never happened.
Fast forward, I think the next movie takes place 10 years later. Apes are used as slave labor.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You idiots.
You morons.
Well, that's
the people who were there when what's he called? Cornelius tells him about it.
Yeah.
He's still around. He runs the town, the city they're in. Why wouldn't you just think about what he said?
Because, like we always say, the world moves in a pendulum.
Mm-hmm.
Works even in that case, in racism and shit like that.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Because the way they treated apes to deter them from taking over made them rise up. That's what that movie's all about. Which is one of my favorites.
And then we're back to the start again, basically.
Exactly. And then we have the last one, where it's interesting, but that kind of closes the loop because we're back to sort of the same time as the first movie.
Yeah.
But at this because history changed. When the monkeys traveled back, apes, sorry. We went over all this in the but it is such a fascinating franchise.
The minute changes make a different future, but it still has the same core.
Yeah,
the same issues.
In this one, humans and apes live together, although humans are second class, basically. Which is wonderful, and to see then how Caesar, which they call him Caesar, the baby.
Yeah.
No, baby Milo, but they call him Caesar later.
He changed his name for some reason.
He remembers, not really remembers. Well, he plays the tape that he finds of his mother and father speaking about it. He wants to honor them and because they believe that humans and apes could coexist in the very first movie.
Yeah. That's their entire research project.
But then it's once again flipped because then you have apes that are like, no, humans are fucking vermin, and there are humans hiding out who still think apes took it from us, so we need to take it back.
Which I'm assuming that May and her people are those humans.
Okay.
In a way. But it's not thoroughly and fully explored and explained.
No, because we just see them in the end.
Exactly. We don't get to know anything about them, which I guess could be part of a cliffhanger. We'll get to know that in the second movie.
That's what I mean. You see them both looking up at the sky.
Yeah.
As there's dark days ahead, basically.
Yeah.
Because we know there are more humans.
We've made contact now. Now we can rise up.
Yeah, but also now the apes know that we exist.
That too.
So
it's prepping for war.
Yeah, and that's on a meta textual level. The screenwriters here and the producers, mainly the producers,
probably
because we want to make more movies so we can make money. They are repeating the same mistake that the humans did in Escape from Planet of the Apes.
That might be intentional.
I cannot believe that is intentional.
It would be funny if it was intentional.
And they're like, oh, we're actually just repeating because that's what humans do.
Yeah, we want to hammer home that that's the issue here.
But that would be
too clever.
I wouldn't even call it clever because that's the third time they're doing
No,
that.
that's true. That's
Because you have the original trilogy where you're doomed to make the same mistakes,
and we do it by the end of that trilogy.
And in the Caesar trilogy, they do repeat that, but that one was clever enough to still have
throw in other
themes,
and
exactly.
issues,
and just be so well written that it's like yes, then it makes sense that history repeats itself.
Yeah.
But it ends happy.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's why we're saying that this trilogy isn't technically needed.
Exactly.
Because we've exhausted this whole.
Technically, the Caesar trilogy wasn't needed either.
No, that's true.
But it was so well written that it did justify its own existence because it did add to to the story. It added to the franchise.
Discussion, basically.
Yeah, the discussion. Yeah.
This one so far hasn't.
No.
I mean, benefit of the doubt, they might in the next one, but
it's not off to a good start.
No, and it needs a good start to jumpstart it, basically.
Yeah. And now we are kind of been repeating ourselves for a while. So I think we're gonna
another fault we have as well.
Wrap it up there.
Yes.
So once again, if you like the Planet of the Apes movies, if you like them because apes riding horses, you're gonna like this one.
Yeah. Hell, if you just like the poster or the trailer, watch it. Because you're not going to be disappointed.
It's a good adventure movie.
Yeah. I'm going to try and convince my boyfriend to watch it because he would enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a regular-ass adventure movie.
Yeah.
Which I do like that aspect of it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm unfortunately very, indoctrinated with the Caesar trilogy, so I compare. Yeah. If you don't compare, fine. Fantastic almost.
Yeah. But if you're a fan of the originals and you like the
Caesars,
the deeper the Caesars as well, but you enjoy them for the social commentary.
This one is
not much here.
No. Hey, you might like it anyways though, but
sure.
don't expect
commentary it to be on the same level.
or moral stories or anything.
I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea what we're doing here.
Yeah, because we'll watch the old ones, but we already did that.
We've done that like 3 times.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll find another ape movie.
We'll talk about another ape movie. Maybe we'll do Dunstan Checks In. Yeah, we'll do Dunstan Checks In.
I don't even know what that is.
Exactly. It has nothing to do with this, but it is an ape movie.
Oh, there's a bunch of those like ape sports movies.
Oh yeah, Project X. Yeah, the one with the baseball ape and Joey from Friends.
For example.
Yeah. There's
Maybe we'll watch
of course.
We could talk about King Kong movies.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever.
That's for you to find out if you go to patreon.com/don'tmakeascene, where you can also then support us and get a bunch of exclusive stuff. I mean, there's literally hundreds of exclusive episodes. Other than that, just want to say thank you so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. You can subscribe if you're on YouTube, follow if you're on Spotify, or
like, thumbs up,
all
stars,
that stuff.
And all this stuff.
Yeah,
comments. Check out the socials.
Yeah, and we will see you next week when we're going to talk about Immaculate.
Yes.
Yeah, it's finally coming to Sweden. Finally. Yeah. And we can already say that the week after that we're doing Furiosa.
Yes, and of course for the Patreon then we'll do.
Max. We haven't really talked about Mad Max.
Yeah, that came up before we started the podcast.
But until then, have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. The Spoilercast is part of Please Don't Make a Scene. It is produced and directed by Tobias Vedén and hosted by Tobias and Rebecca Vedén. Executive producer is Annika Vedén. I also want to give a huge shout out to all our patrons over on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. Mom, Dad, Christopher Belén, Danny Del Gaiso, Mac and Mom, Laura Kinney, and CK85.